Right.
Okay.
Good day, everyone. We from Playware, Susie, Ryan, Leetard are with you today to demo the 3D Hive and Emergency in Primary Care games, which was developed under the LTAG grant. We with Dr. Andrew, Dr. Mark, Dr. Peter, Dr. Palin, Dr. Shan, Ismail, Crystal, and Samad have been working on this project for more than 6 months, I think kind of since Feb this year. We have gone through several prototypes and iterations to come up with this version of the game, which is the beta version of the game. So the speciality or the beauty of this particular game and the challenges we had was to randomize 7 scenarios within one game. So when you log into our portal and our mobile app, and you go to the gamelet, you will only see one game, but you can play it more than 7 or 8 times to face different scenarios. The idea was to basically simulate closely the real life situation of a doctor at any polyclinic. So today, Ryan will share his screen to show how our software 3D Hive looks like and how to proceed and play the game. And Lee will give you an introduction on the game itself, because Lee is our script writer and Ryan is our game designer who's designed these games. Ryan, you want to share your screen?
Yeah, sure. So I'll share my screen now, and I will show you how to log into the game itself. Can you enable screen sharing?
Yeah, Sean, I've enabled the screen sharing. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you how to log into the game itself. So first thing, when you wait, hold on. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah. So I will
Okay,
be
so
providing these credentials later on through an email personally to each one of you. So we will be giving you an email user ID and a password. So you use these credentials to log into our software. I'll also be sharing how to download this 3D Hive Mobi. We'll give you a blob link or a zip file. It is stored in our blob. So you download the zip file and unzip that and you launch this software and you'll use the credential that I provide you to log into the game. Yeah. Login, sure, Ryan.
okay.
So I think
So when
Ryan,
you
you
log
can.
in, you will see like an icon. So the game that you want to be playing is acute conditions. It's right there. So you just click on it, and the first time that you get it, instead of this play icon, you'll have a download option. So when you finish downloading it, only then you'll get the play option. But I've already downloaded it, so we'll just go ahead right into the game. You can see like there's a small description of the game itself, like on the top right. Play as an emergency doctor as stuff happens. So I'll go into the game itself, and maybe Lee can tell us a bit about what
Right.
this game is supposed to be.
Right. Right. So basically, this game is centered around the management of acute medical emergencies at the level of primary care. Right. So as you can see from the little introduction of the gamelet, you're playing as an emergency doctor, right? And you will be faced with 7 randomized scenarios. So these games take on the style of short form content where each time you log in, you get a short scenario that that you have to go through, right? And basically, you're playing as an emergency doctor, and you're presented with a patient with various vitals and symptoms, and you have to give your own interpretation of the patient's condition, and accordingly provide task delegation, administering the proper medications, and also giving the appropriate disposition based on what you think the patient's condition is, right? So, I mean, in some, the purpose of this game is not just to save the patient's life, but also to do it in to manage the case in an optimal way, right? Not to take unnecessary steps. Yeah. So I think now Ryan can run you through briefly what you can expect in the game.
Okay, so when you hit play, So when we start playing the game itself, because we have a pretty long prologue, we actually included the option to skip the prologue in the dialogue options. So if you see this, you just tap to continue, and then you'll have two options, whether you want to don't skip or skip it. So I guess we might as well not skip it so that we can just show you a little bit more of dialogue that happens in the game. So here's some dialogue where the doctor is saying, where she's just doing some expository dialogue. Looks like she's the assigned emergency doctor, and she's hoping that the day goes smoothly by. So she just talks to herself a little bit. And over here we have a dialogue between a patient and the doctor. So anytime you see one of these, all you have to do is tap to continue through the dialogue itself.
So all the dialogues will
So
have a voiceover eventually. Since this is a beta version, we haven't recorded the voices yet. So once you all give your feedback, then we'll have a final version which will have a voiceover for all these dialogues. And there'll be some background sounds and sound effects and all that added later. Go ahead, Ryan.
okay, so as this dialogue plays out, as per this story, we have the PA system says that there's code blue in the emergency room, so everyone has to go there. So the doctor needs to go to the emergency room, and she'll be back later. So at this point, we move to the emergency room where we find two nurses and a patient. So we'll continue playing the in-game dialogue as well. So the nurses just tell him that Mr. Mapokai is in trouble and they need the doctor's advice for help. So sometimes what happens is that we'll have an image that comes on top of the dialogue so that you can see an action that the player is supposed to be performing. So for this particular case, you're supposed to be examining the patient's pulse. So there's an image of that over the dialogue. Okay, so now she has to delegate tasks according to who needs to do what in order to save the patient. So here we have one of our first mini games, which is a sticker drag and drop mini game. So the instructions say drag the labels to delegate tasks. So that's what we do with these. So for the sake of this game, we're supposed to take all of these options and drag them to the appropriate person who's supposed to do them. So the doctor is supposed to examine the patient and auscultate the heart and lungs. So we'll just put this answer over here. And the nurses are supposed to perform an ECG as well as check vitals and capillary blood glucose. So when you've put these three stickers in place, you can submit your answer and continue. And then we get a little bit of feedback that says nicely done and so on. When we start, we get a comic randomizer case. So we will be assigned one of 7 scenarios. So as you can see from this comic, we have been assigned scenario 4. So let's proceed with scenario 4. So the first thing we do as part of the scenario is we're supposed to auscultate the heart and lungs. So we get this menu minigame, and you're supposed to tap on each of these little ring areas to auscultate a particular part. So you click on the heart, and then you will auscultate the heart. You click on the lung, and you will auscultate the lung. And you click on the other lung, and you'll auscultate this lung. So we'll proceed again with the in-game dialogue. So we get some quick comics and infographics to get the player up to speed on the readings. This is something they'll have to take note of while they're playing the game. So, and then we will proceed to another menu minigame where we select the appropriate items in the trolley to proceed with the game. So, Lee, what's the answers for scenario 4?
You go to oxygen.
Okay, supplemental oxygen. So when you click on supplemental oxygen, you'll get like a confirmation whether you really want to take it. So we'll say yes. And then there's a little green tick mark to let you know that you've selected it. Okay, and what are the others?
Followed by GTN.
Okay, so again, we'll just take GTN.
You want to show, okay, you just want to say, even if you select a wrong item, one wrong item, and then you submit, it's still wrong, right? So this particular game, we are still building on this game. So only if you get all correct, you will get through this game. So that's how it goes.
Yes.
Right? That's the gameplay. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so are there any other correct answers for this?
Aspirin.
Aspirin, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Any
it.
others? That's
No.
it? Okay. Okay, so when we've selected all of the correct answers, supplemental, GT, and aspirin, you'll have to close the menu minigame from the top right corner. There's this little X button. You got to press that to close it and continue. So when you close it, and if you've selected all the correct items, it'll tell you good job. And then you will proceed with the other mini games. So here we have a sticker mini game where we're supposed to administer aspirin to the patient. So we have a picture of differing number of tablets. So the correct answer for this is to drag three tablets into the mouth.
Okay, I think let's not go through the complete game. We'll allow them to play the game. So
Okay, sure.
yeah. So basically, can you escape? And you should. I want to. When you go to the end of the game, you will see some learning points, and after the learning points, you will be pushed out of the game. So you'll come back to um, the main page where you have to play the game again, and if you're lucky enough, you won't get this. You will get to play another scenario. So basically, 7 scenarios are randomized over here. So that's the
Yeah.
gameplay of this. Yeah. So maybe now I can just quickly run through how to install 3D Hive. Oh, you're almost done, right? Okay, fine. Okay, you got it wrong.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you can fail the scenario, and because all the gameplay is being tracked behind in our database, and the course administrator or the team lead of this game development would get to see who, the user gameplay details. So I will share a microsite. Dr. Andrew will get admin login for it. He can probably go in and check who's played and how they played and stuff like that. Yeah. You want to just click and you want to show them how. So at the end of
Yep.
every gamelet, you push you back to the main screen. So then you go and play again, and you'll get another scenario. So that's how this gamelet is. So just don't try and play as many times as possible. Just don't leave it at one scenario, because there are 7 different scenarios where we have put in a lot of effort. So after playing the game, you will also go to an evaluation page where you need to evaluate these games. So the main exercise of this evaluation exercise for the acute medicine games, primary care games, is for you to evaluate. There are about 16 questions. Maybe Ryan, let me share my screen.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So before we go to the evaluation, okay, let me show you the evaluation since I've talked about it. So this is the evaluation form, a Google form. I will be sharing the link to each one of you. So after you play 7 scenarios, try your best to play all the 7 scenarios. After you have played, please come to this evaluation form and give your answers for these simple questions. So this is something we need to submit to SSG for the claim. So your feedback is very important. Please don't try to say neutral for all the answers, because that won't help us. We want some nice honest feedback, whether you agree or strongly disagree, or please give us some honest answers. So the idea is to get about 90% of positive feedback in this evaluation, so that we can do the claims for these projects. So yeah, so these are the questions, and you'll have one general question where you can give a short answer to, if you like, to talk about anything, any specific feedback to the game, like you want to change something or you like something. So you please give us a short answer, a small description. So this is your evaluation form. So I'll be giving the link to this. Apart from this, the other thing is your microsite. So this is the microsite where the doctors can go in and see your trainees and their various scores, what have they played, the games that they have played and all that. And also individual users can go and see their scoreboard. So I'll give this URL and the credentials are the same credentials that you're using for your game. So this is how, these are just placeholders for now. We will be removing it soon. So this particular site is still under development. So you will just see, very minimum, very little data. So these are the test data. And when we were testing on the production site, these are the data that we accumulated. We will probably clear all these data for you before you all start playing. If you can go in as the leaderboard, you will get to see all other players. So who scored high and how many times and all these kind. So you have a scoreboard, leaderboard, and the admin will get another extra tab, that is the dashboard, where they can go and assess everyone's scores. So, yeah, so that's about the macro site. And let me go through the installation guide. So this is the installation guide. I will be passing this as well with the release email. So this is the link where you'll download the 3D Hive software, the one just now Ryan was demonstrating. So the software, you need to download the 3dhive.mobi software from this link, which is a zip file. So once you download, you extract the zip file and you can store it in any folder in your C drive or D drive or wherever in your system. Okay, one more thing, we are only having Windows client at the moment, because the system is going on a massive upgrade, and the Mac and the mobile versions are yet to be ready. We are already testing on the Android version, which will come, which will be released sometime in end of September, if I'm not wrong. So we are just testing all our games and making sure our new features are working on that. So for now, please bear with us. We have only the Windows client built, and you will require internet for the downloading of the software, that is the mobi.exe. So you basically click on the exe file, the 3dhat.mobi.exe. You would get to see all these security questions. So just allow to run this software for now. We will resolve this by, as I told you, this is the beta version of the software. We will be resolving all this once we add the certificate. You will not get all this, the protection dialogues. Yeah. So once you get to this screen, try and select maximum screen size in your system, and always select the fastest. So that will allow you to have a better experience of the game. Click on play, which will take you to this login screen, which Ryan just demonstrated. So I will be passing you the credentials. So use those credentials and the password and log into the software. So you will get to see the primary care game. So tap on that and you'll get to another gamelet page. This is called a gamelet page, where you'll tap on the gamelet. The first time it will give you a download. It will show you a download button. So download, the first time it will take a while to download. As you know, there are 7 games within this game. So the file is slightly bigger, so it might take some time. So make sure you have a better internet connection, so that the download is faster and there is no interruption in between. If there is any interruption, please delete the game and download, and show you how to download. So while you download, there'll be 3 different processes: downloading, extracting, and pulling of the assets. So once, if there is any issue downloading, you can always select the gamelet. You can delete the game using this delete button and download it again if there is any disruption in your download. Yeah. So you'll get to see this loading screen. Depending on your internet speed, sometimes this screen might be longer, so don't get worried. It will go through after some time. Yeah, so these are the comic screens, and yeah, so you'll have a navigation. So this is a navigation, how to navigate in the world. We have not added this in primary care game because there isn't any navigation in the game as you see, because we just teleport the doctor to the emergency room and everything happens over there. So, yeah. So we have not, usually we put the screens within the game itself. Yeah. So I think even this thing you will not get to see because There is no icons and there is no walking required in this game. Yeah. So at the end of the game, you will get to see a gamelet complete and you will exit. So like I told you, we have done a lot of new things for this primary care games. So we have integrated 7 games together and we have randomized it. Yeah. So so that's, I think we have kind of covered everything. We have demonstrated the game, how to log in, and how to go to the evaluation page and microsite to see your results and give us your evaluation. Yeah, I think we've kind of covered. Guys, anything else you want to mention? Me, Ryan?
Nope,
No, we're
nothing
okay.
to mention.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much and happy evaluating primary care games. Yeah, let us know. Please email back to me if you have any issues, and I'm always there to support you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.